The massive, America's Got Talent stage glows under bright lights as the crowd murmurs in excitement. From the shadows of backstage, a young Filipino girl named Maria steps forward, clutching an old microphone with trembling hands. Her dress is plain and slightly worn, her shoes scuffed from travel. She looks around in awe. This is the biggest stage she's ever seen. Simon Cowell glances down at his notes and then up at her. "Hello, sweetheart," he says with a faint smile. "What's your name?" Her voice quivers. "My name is Maria, I'm from the Philippines." A few people in the audience cheer softly. Others whisper, curious about the shy girl standing before them. Simon nods. "And why are you here today?" Maria hesitates, eyes glistening. "To make my mama proud. She worked very hard so I could come here. This is my dream." The camera cuts to her mother backstage, watching through tears. Her hands are clasped tightly in prayer. When the music starts, the sound system crackles, a sudden glitch. The wrong track begins to play. The audience murmurs, and someone chuckles. Maria's face drops. She freezes, panic flashing in her eyes. Simon sighs, raising a hand. "Stop, stop," he says. "Are you ready for this? Take a deep breath." Maria nods weakly, whispering, "Yes, sir." He leans forward. "All right, one more chance." For a moment, the room is completely silent. Maria closes her eyes, whispering something in Filipino, a short prayer. The spotlight narrows on her face, and she slowly lifts the microphone again. The audience waits, unsure. Judges exchange doubtful glances. Then, as the first pure, trembling note escapes her lips, everything begins to change. Maria takes a deep breath, the crowd watches in stillness. The lights dim slightly, and the gentle melody begins again, this time, the right one. She closes her eyes, clutching the microphone tightly, and sings her first note. It's soft at first, trembling, but within seconds, it grows into something pure, powerful, and filled with emotion. Her voice soars through the theater, echoing off every wall, carrying the weight of her journey. The chatter dies instantly. Even Simon Cowell leans forward, his expression shifting from doubt to awe. Her song is one she wrote herself, about her mother, her home, and the dream that kept her going when life was hardest. The lyrics tell of a little girl singing in the streets of Manila, her voice rising above hunger, above fear. As she sings, the camera cuts to her mother backstage, tears streaming down her face, whispering, "That's my daughter." Every word seems to touch the soul of the audience. The judges exchange looks. No one expected this sound to come from such a shy, fragile girl. Her voice breaks for just a moment, trembling with emotion, then recovers as she hits a long, angelic high note that sends shivers through the hall. By the time she reaches the chorus, the audience is already on their feet, clapping, crying, cheering her on. The lighting brightens, wrapping her in a soft golden glow as her voice fills the entire arena. When the final note fades, Maria stands frozen, tears running down her cheeks. The room is silent for a moment, then the crowd erupts in applause, louder than thunder. Simon whispers under his breath, almost in disbelief, as the final note of Maria's song echoes through the theater. There's a brief, breathless silence, the kind that only happens after something truly extraordinary. Then, suddenly, the audience explodes into applause. People leap to their feet, clapping, shouting, and cheering. The camera pans across faces wet with tears, mouths open in awe. Some wave tiny Filipino flags, others simply stand still, frozen by what they just witnessed. The entire hall is filled with emotion so raw. It feels sacred. Maria stands in the center of the stage, trembling. Her small frame shakes as she lowers the microphone, eyes wide and glistening. For a second, she doesn't know whether to smile or cry. She covers her mouth with her hand, overwhelmed. Sofia Vergara is the first judge to speak, wiping her eyes. "Maria," she says, her voice breaking slightly, that was the voice of an angel. "You made us feel every word." Howie Mandel nods, smiling warmly. "You didn't just sing a song, you told your story. And everyone here felt it." The camera cuts to the audience again. A man holds up his phone, recording, while a little girl in the front row whispers, "She's amazing." The crowd chants her name softly, "Maria, Maria." The music fades back in as she bows deeply, still crying. Golden stage lights shimmer on her tear-streaked cheeks, and a single spotlight follows her as she whispers, "Thank you so much." Backstage, her mother clutches her heart, crying tears of pride and disbelief. The other contestants watch on the monitor, some with their hands over their mouths, others clapping along. In that moment, Maria, the poor girl from the Philippines, isn't just another contestant. When the thunderous applause finally begins to quiet down, Maria stands trembling in the center of the stage. Her chest rises and falls with every deep breath. Gold lights shimmer around her, and tears glisten on her cheeks. The judges are speechless. Even Simon Cowell, known for his sharp tongue, sits completely still. For a few long seconds, he says nothing. He just looks at her, the same girl he thought might not make it past her introduction. The silence makes the moment heavier, the audience holding their breath. Then, slowly, Simon leans forward, his voice soft but steady. Greater than, Maria, when you walked onto this stage, I wasn't sure. You looked nervous, shy, I thought maybe this wasn't your moment. Maria looks down, tears filling her eyes. Greater than, but, he continues, his tone warming, then you started to sing, and I swear, I have never heard anything like that. You sang with your heart, your soul, and with so much truth. That wasn't just singing, that was magic. The audience erupts again, cheering wildly. Sophia nods beside him, saying, she's pure talent. Heidi Klum adds, that performance could move the world. Simon looks at Maria again, his eyes slightly red. You reminded all of us why we do this show, because sometimes, out of nowhere, someone comes along and changes everything. He pauses, then slowly reaches forward. The golden buzzer glows beneath his hand. The golden confetti slowly drifts to the floor. Maria stands in the center of the AGT stage, eyes closed, arms raised, crying and laughing all at once. The audience is still on their feet, clapping, shouting her name. Maria, Maria, echoes across the hall like a celebration of hope itself. Her mother rushes onto the stage, tears streaming down her cheeks. She wraps Maria in a tight embrace, holding her as if she'll never let go. Anak, you did it. You did it, she cries in Tagalog, her voice trembling with pride. Maria can barely speak, whispering through tears, Mama, this is for you. Simon smiles from his seat, wiping the corner of his eye. The other judges stand and applaud, clearly moved by the moment. The golden lights still shimmer above them, reflecting off the tears on Maria's face. Cameras flash as confetti sticks to her hair and shoulders, making her look like she's glowing. Backstage, producers and staff are emotional too, some clapping, some just staring in awe at the monitor. That was one of the greatest auditions we've ever seen, a stagehand whispers. Another adds quietly, this girl just made AGT history. When Maria finally walks off stage, still shaking, the crew greets her with cheers and hugs. Her mother holds her hand tightly, whispering prayers of thanks. They pause before the AGT backdrop for one last moment, both crying, both smiling through the tears. A final camera shot shows Maria turning back toward the stage lights, whispering softly, greater than, thank you, America. Thank you, Mama. Dreams really do come true. The screen fades to black as her song plays softly in the background, and text appears. Never give up. Your voice can change the world. Mike Sparkles, Philippines.